Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in the video for Red Dragon Archfiends, I have built the deck. You can see it over here, and we tested the deck out in 3 test hands. Now I'm gonna show you 5 duels against actual opponents and see if the deck is actually strong or does it need some more adjustments. I'll just go over the ratios. So you only need one Archfiend, and you can even cut Necromancer because you only need one Archfiend. It is super searchable, especially with Crimson Call and Soul Resonator, and they are also super searchable as well because Crimson Resonator can summon Soul Resonator, and Crimson Call can be added from the the Vision Resonator. It can be added from the Crimson King, it can be added from Gaia. So all of these cards search each other, and the point of this deck is you want to get to Red Resonator and Infernity Archfiend, and that is where the Infernity part gets into play, because you get Archfiend gets Reaper, then Launcher, and then double barriers. Sometimes you want to go for Necromancer, but it's weird because Necromancer is level 3, but now we have a better situation because we have more Resonators that are level 3. Okay, that's enough. We are gonna go over to the duels now. Let's go. Okay, the first duel is against Mitsurugi, and we are going first. We started with Crimson Gaia. Gaia adds Power Vice. Power Vice summon itself. Use the effect. Add Darkness Resonator. Reveal Red Dragon Archfiend. Summon itself. Give us another normal summon. Go for Crimson King. Crimson King add the Fiend Beast Golem because we already have the Crimson Call. Normal summon Crimson Resonator. Summon these two. Summon Fiend Beast Golem. And now you can see we searched Archfiend with Soul Resonator, and we can use Crimson Call for Red Resonator, but I actually made the mistake because for Crimson Call you have to have a have a Red Dragon Archfiend monster on the field, which I didn't have, but it's all good. You saw that I normal summon Archfiend and Fiend Beast Golem special summon it afterwards, so that's all good. You can see that this combo is just super strong, even if I actually made the mistake. All good. So we have Dispatter, Abyss, Archfiend plus double barrier, Void Ogre. They use Gambara. I don't understand why I changed Hot Dragon Abyss position, because if they changed Archfiend they could have killed off my barriers, but maybe my opponent didn't read my cards. Use barrier on prayers and opponent scoops. Yep, there was nothing they could have done because I already have so much follow-up in Gaia and Red Zone and in Crimson Call, and I also had barrier for protection. So yeah. Second duel is up against Hekahance. Hekahance is a interesting deck because they don't have a lot of cards, but I think they have 4 main deck monsters and 2 or 3 spell or traps, and no, 2 spells I think. Yeah, the Hekahance, and 2 traps that either negate monster effects or spell traps effects. So they don't really have a lot of support, but even with a small amount of cards they are still actually very solid, because they can just strip out of your extra deck. You're seeing right now they took out my Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss from the extra deck, and they can do this every single turn. You can see that they sniped out my Zeren. Zeren is actually really good, but you have to actually know when to use it and which effect to use, because it can negate the effect or negate the effect that was responded to. So those 2 effects are actually very confusing. for some players, so it's understandable. Going for darkness, it gets negated by Abyss. I use overtuning. Overtuning actually performed really well because when I actually get stopped by my opponent, I can just summon Soul Resonator and continue comboing. You can see over here, add the Archfiend again, Launcher, didn't use Crimson Call. Again, I made a same mistake where I didn't control a hot red Red Dragon Archfiend monster, so I had to add the Wandering King from my graveyard, but it's all good because I still have Crimson King to add the Fiend Piece Golem. Fiend Piece Golem is a fantastic one-off because you can always search it from your deck or graveyard with Crimson Gaia, so that's great. You can see that I made the mistake by summoning Archfiend in defense position, but it's all good because I still do have a lot of follow-up. Launcher, Crimson Gaia. I summoned the hot red Dragon Archfiend over here because I don't want my Xeno to get snapped out of my extra deck. Okay, we drew Druisworm. Use Wandering King, summon Vision, go for Infernity Doom Dragon. This card is fantastic in this deck because it's a Dark Dragon, it's a Infernity 4 barrier, and yeah, our opponents took scooped because they don't have any other follow-up except these two traps, which they do nothing. And I also have the barrier set as well. In the third duel, we're playing against Blackwings, and this is the case where we play against Duel and Lockbird. And what do we do against Duel and Lockbird? Actually, we don't really care that much. It does kill off our Infernity, our way to get to Infernitys, because we have to search a lot, but RDA doesn't really have to search a lot. You can see it over here that we can just spam out tuners and resonators, and actually we got to 2 negates in Void Ogre, Spell and Trap negate, and Abyss basically negates any card on the field. And we also have follow-up in Crimson Gaia and Bone Archfiend in the graveyard. The Blackwings actually get over Abyss and Void Ogre, but they are just left with 2 cards. We are using Gaia. I added from graveyard because I wanted to play around Duel, using Red Rising, some add Crimson Call, and they get me, and I get Duel again. But that doesn't matter because I can still go off and summon Doom Dragon again. Doom Dragon is actually insane in this deck, I'm telling you. It's so good because it doesn't have a hard once per turn, it's soft once per turn, so if you use it as a synchro monster, you can pop twice or even 3 times. Okay, that's good. For the 4th duel, we are playing against Labyrinth. We are going first using Paralyzed Dragon. In the situations where you have Paralyzed and Crimson Resonator, you always want to start with Paralyzed Dragon because later on you can just normal summon the Crimson Resonator and use its effect, but you'll then kill off Paralyzed. So I advise to always use Paralyzed first, then Crimson. Anyway, you can see that my opponent completely went off during my turn, by the way, where they used Fuvalos, Cooklock, they summoned Lady, they summoned freaking 4 3k monsters. And also this new Starving Venom is so pretty. This is a new card, so it's a overframe card, and it's so pretty, and it's actually very, very broken because it's a monster negate, I think. Yeah, monster negate, and it's also a super poly, which is what are we talking about? That's 2 broken cards in one. Disgusting. But we can still continue playing. I use Magnemet over here because I don't have a way to Infernitys. so I don't have to care about my hand. Okay, they go for Typhon. They want to bounce. I banish Crimson King to summon Druid Swarm. They bounce my Despair, use Red Zone to bring back the Crimson King. They clear up some of my cards, and I don't understand why they destroyed their Typhon, but it's all good. Using Druid Swarms and Dragostapelia, we drew Return, which is fantastic for Archfiend, but Archfiend just doesn't get a chance to search. You can see it gets negated again, but we have Crimson Gaia, add Vision Resonator, use Bone Archfiend, but it gets met with Dominus Impulse again. They set another Soul of the Supreme King, but we have more follow-up, you can see. And that's why I really do like Vision Resonator, not as a 3-off, but maybe as a 2-off. 1 is too much, too little, because you always want to have Vision Resonator in your circulation, and then you every time it gets sent to the graveyard, you add a Crimson Call, and Crimson Call can add any fiend, which is insane. And our opponent's scooped because they see that we have so much follow-up. We have the Crimson Gaia, we have Crimson Call, we have Bone Archfiend in the graveyard, we have a lot of follow-up. And for the 5th duel, we are actually playing against Red Dragon Archfiend, so it's a mirror match. Our opponent starts with Paralyze, adds Darkness. Darkness gives them another normal summon. Crimson King adds Gaia. They normal summon Crimson Resonator, summon Soul, and Synchron Resonator. This card is disgusting, by the way, because Synchron Resonator is a level 1, and every time it is sent to the graveyard, it can add a Synchron monster from the graveyard, so that effect is not once per turn, and that's actually pretty broken. So you can also play this card as well. I think it's good as a one-off because you don't really want to clog up on this card, even though the special summon effect is once per turn, but the second effect isn't. Anyway, they ended on this disgusting card, Red Hypernova Dragon. In my 15 years of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I have never read a card this broken. Like, what do you mean? You get to banish it itself? You get to recur it with Red Zone. So that makes Red Zone also a lot better, because you can revive it and use the effect again. Disgusting. I do try to play around Red Hyper Dragon, but I mean, that's they just banished my field like 3 or 4 times. Like I don't really have that much follow-up. If this card actually, yeah, and I just get one-shotted by this card. If this card actually banished just a whole field, it would have been fair, but graveyard as well? Like, okay, that's broken, but it does require 4 tuners, so maybe that's a balancing mechanic. Okay, so this is the deck again. As you can see, the deck was actually very, very solid. Maybe you can change this deck a little bit by cutting Necromancer and adding maybe I don't know, you can even add Infernity Sage over here, because Sage can be sent by Bone Archfiend. It doesn't get its effect because from Bone Archfiend because it was sent by by cost, but when you use Archfiend and add Launcher, you actually have a level 4 and a 2 tuner, and then Sage would trigger, but you can see that what is Sage going to actually, what is Sage going to send because I'm only playing one Archfiend and maybe one Necromancer. So if you send Necromancer, that's okay. It clogs my board even more, and that's why I'm only playing these two, because sometimes your board gets cleared up, so you actually want to get Necromancer, but when you actually start comboing off and summoning big synchros, you don't have much space for Necromancer, because Necromancer requires two monster spaces, so that's sometimes too much. And yeah, that's it for the video. I wish you a happy new year. See you soon and goodbye.